Welcome back to Dawn of the Zeds, 3rd edition. We're playing the Outbreak level. A couple episodes ago, I forgot to use an ammunition, so we're going from 3 down to 2 when we had the sheriff getting the civilians to shoot, so that's going to clean that up. Alright, we have 3 event cards to get through in our finale here. Let's start with this one, and it's Brains, which I think is not going to be too horrific. 2 to the infection level. We're going from 6 to 8. Oh dear. All tracks activate with each Zeds unit moving 1 space only. If the Zeds results in combat, it wins. It immediately moves again. And then we will be drawing another event card. So that's what's happening. So let's start off in the suburb track. Alright, we have a heavily damaged mob moving here. They don't encounter any brains. Up we go to the forest track. And as you can see on the forest track, we only have 1 unit and they are several miles away from our town center. I'm not too concerned about them. Alright, let's go to the mountain track. Alright, the mountain track, a little more concerning. This guy's almost destroyed and this huge mob is on the way. Don't really like that one. Alright, down we go to the highway track. And down on the highway track we have a 5 with 2 damage on it moving in here, and we have the 6. And that's it! That was Brains. So very quickly, wow, we didn't encounter any hand-to-hand combat. Nothing much happened, except all the Zeds moved up on the track. Alright, we're going to zoom out. We're going to do our second event. Alrighty, we have our second event, and it is... What's that smell? Okay, we need to roll for an outbreak. Ooh, we're sitting at 8. So what we need is to roll higher than an 8. Can we do it? We roll a 7, which means we have an outbreak. Alright, so an outbreak, we're going to drop this by 7, so our infection level goes to 1. We draw a fate card and find out where the outbreak is happening. It is happening where there's the most Zed units, and that, I believe, is the mountain track. Indeed, it's the mountain track. And then we have to place a new Zeds unit in the campground space, apply stacking limit if necessary. Oh, good lord. So we're basically getting 2 new Zed units in the mountain space. It's going to be 1 at Lefty's Pass, 1 at the campground, but they're going to have to move back 1 to there. So wow, 2 units, mountain space. Alright, I think that's how that works. I could be a little bit incorrect. I'm not sure if you put 1 there, if it goes to a start space of another track, but we do get a 5 at this mountain start space. Oh, sorry, we get Lefty's Pass. That was the outbreak. I might just check the rule book on this one, because we can't put 1 at the campground because there's already a mob. So we either put it here or it starts on a start space of another track. Let me double check the rules. Yeah, so what happens in this case is you would go back to the start, closest to start space until there's room for the new unit. So we will be putting it on number 3. So we pull out a, what do we have? We have a 5. They show up there. So yes, they just bounce from here and they go back to the start space. So if you had 2 at the start space, that's why you have to go to another start space, because you can't go backwards from there. Alright, that was our lovely little outbreak. And now we have to eat 2 of our supplies. We have 4, we're down to 2. Oh dear me. Alright, and then looking at our card, our next activation, we have Zeds moving on the highway track. Alright, we have highway track movement. We have this one moving here, that one moving there. No hand-to-hand combat's happening. The next track we have activity on is the mountain track. Ooh boy. The mountain track is loaded. So these guys are moving in here. We already have the advantage. I'm just going to move everything first so I don't miss anything. Alright, we have a 3 unit. They have advantage of the Zeds. We also have a double shift. So that's going to be human advantage plus 2 shifts. It's a human advantage 3 times. And we roll an 8. Oh wow, that should crush those guys handily. 3-time human advantage, yeah, 3 hits, and nothing happens to our unit. So these guys are just destroyed. Perfect. Absolutely. Oh, and our infection rate goes from 1 to 2. Forget about that. That was the mountain track. Completed, and now we have the forest track. And all that happens on the forest track is these guys just chug along up one space, and that's it. All right, let's take a look at the rest of this card. Oh, hang on. At the end of this phase, yes. Select any player unit not in town center. Place a new Zed unit showing its reduced strength side. Connect normal hand to hand. The Zed survives, it wins. If it's flipped, show its full side. Oh my god. All right, what we're going to do, we have our Furies sitting here. They're not in town center. So I think it's, yeah, and not in town center, which they're here. We're going to grab a Zeds unit. They're going to come in on their weak side, which is, oh god, a 2. So we're already at 3 times human advantage for the Farmingdale Furies. Oh, and our infection goes from 2 to 3, and boom! They roll a 9 on 3 times human advantage. We roll a 9, that's 3 hits. So these guys on their weak side are destroyed. So the Furies absolutely say not happening on our watch. So that's the end of them. And now I think we're just into actions. So we get 2 clapboard actions and all the rest of our other actions. So let's figure out what we want to do. We have an absolute mass of people in town center. Alright, for our first clapboard action, we're going to have Mr. Johnson do some scrounging, scavenging, foraging in town center. And he gets a 4. You can add +1 to 1 die. So he will get 1 supply, so we're up to 3. Oh dear. And then we're going to use the field medic ability from the Savior Corps. That's going to cost the 1 supply we just found. And we're going to heal Deputy Dog. And that's going to drop our infection level from 3 down to 2. Okay, we have the leadership ability from the Sheriff. And I'm not sure. Yeah, let's use the leadership ability of the Sheriff to get this 4 unit to move. And they're just going to move right here to east side. Why? Because they just want to shore up that location. And we actually have the Citadel. Hang on. Oh boy. Initiative. We have the initiative for Deputy Schmidt, and we have we have our player action. I got to do some thinking here. Okay, at this point it's all position jockeying. We're going to use our initiative action for the deputy for himself. He is going to move. He is going to move. Where is he going to move? He's going to move here. Because he gets a shift for Eagle Scout, and he'll get a double shift if these guys try to move in here. That's his initiative action. We have a clapboard action, and we have a player action. And what are we going to do? We're going to use the clapboard action. We're going to move the Farmingdale Furies. Where are we going to move them? I think we're going to move the Farmingdale Furies free move. 1, 2. They'll get their 6 greater than advantage. They have a 1 shift. We just block this highway up. And with our player action, what are we going to do with our player action? We're going to spend 1 ammunition for the Sheriff, and he can shoot 2 away on the 4 gunfire table. So that's what he's going to do. We can kind of see the dice there. He gets an 8 on the 4 gunfire table. Let's see, 4 gunfire table, he rolls an 8. That's 2 hits. We'll put the 2 hits on the 3. And I think that covers everything off. Alright, we're still in the player action phase, and yes, we're going to cash in our adrenaline supply. Play during the action phase for +2 event actions. Bonus! So we get 2 more event clapboard actions. One of them we're going to use for Mr. Johnson to see if he can scavenge some stuff in town. And he rolls a pair of 4s. This time the doubles actually come into effect. That is 2 supplies. We're going to go from 2 supplies up to 4. Right on. And for the final clapboard action of our bonus card, we're going to take Bouncing Betty, and she is going to head on up the mountain track. Boom! She's going to see how far she can push those guys back, because they're the major threat. We have infection level going from 2 to 3. Let's get up here and roll some dice. Yes, Bouncing Betty's on another suicide mission, but she's crazy. So here we go. She's on the 3 times human advantage because she's at full strength. And she rolls a 5. That does not sound incredible. So hand to hand, 3 time human advantage. She rolls a 5. Well, actually, the Zeds take 3 hits and retreat, and she takes 1. So she's going to take 1. These guys take 3 hits. We'll take the 7, bounce them back. And the 1-5 will go there. This 5 will go there. Okay, Bouncing Betty is not finished yet. She just advances. Boom! Once more. Infection level 3 to 4. And let's see what she can get this time. She's on the 2 times human advantage this time, so she rolls a 6. She rolls a 6 on the 2-time human advantage. The Zeds take 2 retreat, and she takes another hit. Alright, let's put the 2 hits on the already damaged unit. And does it say, did the Zeds retreat? Did they retreat? Yes, they do. So they retreat, so the 5s will stay together. We'll put that 5 down there. The weakest unit always goes farther back. But Betty took a hit, so she's either going to be in the hospital or the graveyard. Let's see, she gets to roll 2 dice. She rolls a 5. She ends up in the hospital with an EKG marker on her. So she's knocked out again. Alright, that was everything we could possibly do for this card, plus our bonus actions. I think we're in good shape. This goes away. We're going to zoom out. We have a final event, and that's it. Alright, if we can survive this final event with no Zeds getting in Town Center, we win the game. Good, bad, I'm the one with the gun. This is their end card, so we have to roll for an outbreak. We're sitting at 4. Likely, oh, good God. 3, 1, 2, 3. We get an outbreak. Holy, are you kidding me? Alright, we get an outbreak. Fate track. Where is it going to happen? On the suburbs. So we will get 1 unit showing up right there. That's the closest town to Town Center. And we end up getting a 5 unit appears here. Okay. Okay, not bad. That's our outbreak. And now we have to eat 1 supply. 4 down to 3. The fated track gets a double movement. Alright, which is the fated track? And the fated track is this one. Player's choice. Well, we just won the game. And we can hold both of these for later. Play to already play this card events. And this is, yeah, Killdozer. So we get Player's Choice. Wow. Player's Choice, fated track times 2. Well, guess what? Oh, hang on. Yes, at the beginning of Fates, make a fate draw, which we did, determine which track. The beginning of the action phase, if you survive, you've won. Alright, we're going to pick, of course, the forest track. Alright, so Player's Choice. We choose the forest track, 1, 2. Guess what? There are no Zeds in Town Center. Let's back out and wrap up our game. Alrighty, let's consult this card, because I think we just pulled it off. At the beginning of the action phase, which is right now, if you survive, you have won. You kept it together and endured the darkness before the dawn of the Zeds. You and your team head off to Reggie's Roadhouse for a drink, knowing that you have lots of scary stories to tell your grandkids to make them behave. Right on! We win the game! Yes. Wow, that was a little bit ramped up. We had a whole bunch of hospital stuff going on in the outbreak level. We had outbreaks, obviously. You've seen that a few times. Things were getting a little hairy. Bouncing Betty ended up in the hospital 3 times, unconscious. But she did a fine job for the team. So once again, this was Dawn of the Zeds, 3rd edition, a solo playthrough. I really do like this. One of my favorite solo games of all time. It is just so cool, so fun, and so hard sometimes, depending on your rolls. But once again, I think the dice were in our favor for this playthrough, so we actually managed to hold out pretty well. Now this, of course, again, an outbreak level, you're just using all the blue cards, which are, of course, the easiest ones. When we come back to this game next time, we're kicking it up a notch, and I think we start introducing the green cards, which get a lot uglier, and there's some other things I think get thrown into the mix for the next level, which I can't remember what it's called, but we'll be definitely doing that as well. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This was Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition solo playthrough on the outbreak level, and once again, victory for our defenders of Farmingdale. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time for another playthrough series.